Well, today we are going to discuss the poem The Lady of Shalott, written by Alfred Tennyson. The Lady of Shalott first appeared in 1833 volume and was published in 1842 in a revised form. It is one of the Tennyson's masterpieces. Its story is drawn from an Italian novelette, Don Raleigh Scanetta. The Lady of Shalott does not present any story with any plot. Its artistic value lies in the succession of arresting pictures and in the musical quality of the short, simple stanzas. The mystical element that is there in the poem does not permeate the entire poem, and one need not read a moral into each detail. In fact, the keynote of the poem is found in a line at the end of part second. I am half sick of shadows. The life of the Lady of Shalott, a life secluded from the hard realities of life, was unreal, and when she comes in touch with dreadful realities, she dies owing to the sudden impact. What a secluded maid sees are shadows only. They are but pictures. When she knows that pictures are only shadows, she is filled with passion to know life or the substance itself. Then if love comes, hopeless low, all the world of mere fantasy breaks up and the actual kills. The value of the poem is to be sought not in its ethical content or mystical quality, but in its delicate, lovely music and the succession of arresting pictures. Now let us see the text of the poem. Part first of the poem runs thus. On either side the river lie long fields of barley and of rye that clothe the wold and meet the sky, and through the field the road runs by to many-towered Camelot, and up and down the people go, gazing where the lilies blow, round an island there below, the island of Shalott. Willows whiten, aspens quiver, little breezes dusk and shiver through the wave that runs forever by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot. 4 grey walls and 4 grey towers overlook a space of flowers, and the silent isle embowers the Lady of Shalott. By the margin, willow veiled, slide the heavy barges trailed by slow horses and unhailed. The shallop flitteth silken sailed, skimming down to Camelot. But who hath seen her wave her hand, or at the casement seen her stand? Or is she known in all the land, the Lady of Shalott? Only reapers reaping early in among the bearded barley hear a song that echoes cheerly from the river winding clearly down to towered Camelot, and by the moon the reaper weary, piling sheaves in uplands airy, listening whispers, it is the fairy Lady of Shalott. Now let me explain this part first of the poem. In fact, the poet first of all introduces the Lady of Shalott. On each side of the river, there were long fields of barley and rye. These fields surrounded the plain open country and were so extensive that they spread up to the horizon. A road there ran through the fields to the town of Camelot, which had many towers for the tournaments and physical combats. People came from and went for Camelot on this road. Moving along the road, people looked attentively at the growing white lilies around the island of Shalott. Around this lovely land, the willow trees that grew white and aspen trees that fluttered and shook in the air could be seen. Gentle air blew there, and by its motion could darken and stir the running waves in the island river, which flowed toward the famous city of Camelot. The silent island had a bower in which the Lady of Shalott lived. The bower was covered by 4 grey walls and 4 grey towers, beneath which the place full of flowers was visible. Beside the bank of the island river, covered with willow trees, there were flat-bottomed boats, heavy with loads and carriages drawn by slow horses. The unwelcome light boat with silken sail used to move quickly to Camelot. The Lady of Shalott often moved her hand, standing at her window, but none had seen her doing so. Or was it so that the entire country was familiar with her name, the Lady of Shalott? Only the reapers who went to the fields of barley in the early hours of morning in order to reap them heard a melodious song which resounded enchantingly across the clearly moving river flowing down to Camelot. Under the fading moon, the tired reapers collected the material and bound into bundles. At that very moment, they heard the carol song sung by the Lady of Shalott.